Joder, no won't be able to get in there, no. I'm sweating all big. 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 I'm sweating all big.
Upstairs in the Owen County Public Library, we have some people practicing their violins, and they're jamming right now. If you can hear them, I hope you can enjoy them, but if not, we won't get hit by any copyright infringements, I'm sure, because it can't hear it anyway. Nope. And I'm babbling, so it doesn't matter. Sorry, well, we weren't here last week because guess what? The library that we broadcast from has this thing called a, holiday party for their employees. Weird. So they deserved it. Yeah. Other than that, it's been a fairly slow week for me. There was the play this weekend at the Owen County Civic Theater. They did Miracle on 34th Street.
They sure did.
Did you watch it?
No, we got all of the traffic afterwards over at Civilian.
How could you? Because they closed before.
Oh, beforehand. I'm sorry. Before the film, before the play started, we caught a lot of traffic.
I actually went and recorded it so they could see how bad or good they did. And wow. Can I critique this? Can I be honest?
Give it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest about this. Okay. No. Now, I'm going to tell you first and foremost, there were some good things. Yes, I'm going to start with the good. Mark Rogers, who was on the show earlier, he played
Santa, wasn't he?
Kris Kringle, Santa Claus. And, well, he has got the right attitude for it. Am I doing it right, Mark? Is this the way you act? I don't know. But, yeah, he's like, oh, joy. He's got some emotion. He moves. He's animated. He's fun. He's a fun, crotchety old man. Yes, I called you crotchety. Bring us some more whiskey, speaking of. Yeah. And he nailed the whole personality idea of Kris Kringle for Miracle on 34th Street. Nailed it. Because he talks about how we got to help everybody. That's what the point is. It doesn't matter what your social status was. Everybody needs some help. Let's help. You want something better? What do you need? How can I help you? And that's kind of a great thing. A wonderful message. I really don't care for the whole story in general, so I'll be honest that way. Second, the next two great actors had the smallest parts, and I'm not talking about the elves.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Lex Barrett and Seth played the mailmen who basically deliver the packages of letters.
Okay.
They again had this great. They were animated. They delivered their lines. What's the word you call it? They projected. You could hear them. And it was probably the best line in the entire play is when he walks by Santa with a letter and says, "This one's from me." And it was like, spot on. Those two made me laugh. They did great. And they they didn't look like they were acting.
Good.
So now the next best thing was, what's her name? She was the singer, and I had it.
I wasn't there. I can't help.
I don't. She's got a great voice, and I'd love to have her on the show sometime. And I'm sorry I can't remember your name. I hope you're not watching this. Actually, I do.
We'll look through the credits.
I really do hope you're watching this. And yeah, I mean, she's got this voice, and she sang. What was that song? Oh crap! It's in my head, and it's one of those. Can anybody see it? No. Okay. For those who are just listening to the podcast, I stuck my tongue out to see if you could see what was there.
It's great audio.
I'll be home. She sang it, and it was "I'll Be Home for Christmas." And okay, I don't care for the song. Her voice, though, was one of those. I could just listen to her sing. She's awesome. She's got a good voice.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. The next thing that was going down the list of really good things was this little girl who's one of the elves. Okay, they added this little scene to bring some kids in, make them involved, and she does this. I call it tap dancing, but supposedly it's clogging because they use these loose plate tap dancing shoes.
Okay.
And I'm watching them do their little stupid, choreographed routine where they're, and every now and then you hear her click, click. And it's like, what the hell's going on? And then also she stops, shuffles to the center, and just breaks out in like a Judy Garland. I'm like,
nice.
Very
cool.
Nice. Okay.
Well, let's focus on the good parts of it for now.
Yeah. Focus or finish?
Finish.
Yeah, that's it.
Nobody needs to know what happens behind the scenes. Everyone knows there's
not you don't know, not getting behind the scenes. No, you never want to get behind the scenes on any play production because there's always some sort of turmoil.
Yeah.
I mean, Cthulhu's probably the one I can't think that had turmoil except for the people who didn't want to show up. That's a different story.
Yeah, we worked through that.
Now there was various. Your typical, we got to get this ready. Don't get it ready on time. Have to get it ready. But they pulled it off. They actually did a good job for Civic Theater, and I give them that. Now the downside, wow. Okay, they didn't have enough time on stage to relax and get the choreography down and figure things out. So, felt like I was watching a high school play where everybody's stiff. Hi, I would like you to come into my store. Welcome to my store. Like, oh, God damn it, no. And the worst part is, okay, for those of you who don't know anything about acting, one of the things you shouldn't do on stage, unless there's a reason to, is turn your back to the audience. Yes, Jessica, to you too. You broke that rule. A lot of people we saw a lot of backs, and the other part was, this is what it sounded like. Ready? I'm gonna repeat some of the lines from the play.
Okay. My heart was a Twitter. I can't lie. I was a flutter.
I'm sitting up there going, like, looking at the recording, watching the mics twitching only because the little LED indicator saying what's going on. Only because there's the what music is there, the audience chewing on their popcorn, and you could barely hear what they're saying. And they had mics on stage. They didn't turn them up because the problem with the mics, and this is not the actor's fault. They're so sensitive. They were either. There was no between too loud and feedback and loud enough for the audience to hear. There was no middle ground where the audience could hear. It was all nothing or too much. And yeah, so. But on that note, I will say one more good thing, and this has more of the audience enjoyed it, and that was the important part. They got what they wanted.
Good.
So, yeah.
Sounds like everything went fine then.
Well, you could say fine, but that's kind of like it got done.
Yeah, good.
I will say it got done. So congratulations, Jeremiah Freeman,
yes.
Tony Johnson, Larkin Seymour, Owen County Civic Theater, and all the people who were involved on Miracle on 34th Street. And there's probably somebody in Germany right now going, why do I want to know about a play that happened in a small little podunk town in this little place called Indiana? Because I feel like talking about it. This is one of those shows where we were going to have a guest, and we weren't going to have a guest, and then I forgot we had a guest, and the guest said they were going to come, and the guest didn't show.
You're stuck with us.
Yeah. Yep.
So now I'll go over, just before we started this, you brought up to me, you hadn't seen me doing any live streams this week.
Yeah.
And it's been about 10 days. I missed doing it. I've kind of been like trying to figure out how to fix a few things on my stream while working on the project I worked on the first stream, which was a giant, relax my voice a lot more. Second growing pain was I need to find a way, and this is just my own personal self critiques on this. My other growing pain was, setting up a stream and making it look decent. And that's kind of an important thing. Like you can see our screen right here. You've got the nice green border going around. There's a everything and nothing logo here. We got the there's a QR code right there to find the stream. Awesome, great.
Links to my website.
Ooh, even better. And also like working through with what all I had as far as tech goes to make sure I could even stream properly and not have my computer crash because of all the activity. So I was using 2 or 3 different services, trying out 2 or 3 different layouts, trying out the different camera equipment I had.
Dealing with your wonderful internet connection in the middle of
Podunk, middle of nowhere, where I'm 3 miles. I live 3 miles in all directions around me of fiber optic internet now. That all stops 3 miles from my house.
That's why you live in crap. Carp.
No, you can say it's crap,
Okay, crap.
but I like to call myself a Carpathian because I'm from Carp. Sturgeon from Carp. Just let it be. My father almost named me Salmon. It's fine. So.
I need to meet your father, I think.
He's dead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, so much for that one.
Whew. But with all the growing pains, then comes learning, all right, so how to be more dynamic and how to get things set up, how to run the program. I've spent 3 weeks learning how to get all of this done so I can do things from my basement when I'm just awake. Just middle of the night.
Oh, I'm just setting this so they can see the computer screen in my glasses.
Oh.
It's so low resolution they won't know what it's looking at, but it's like you're talking and I'm like feeling like rather than sitting here going I would be a little more animated and let you finish talking because I am listening.
Okay.
What were we talking about?
Me making the mask.
Oh yeah.
The very first, which was the first, the very first, I'd say, chat. I get commission from the chat. I should say suggestion for the stream. It was him,
Yeah, it was me.
and it's a cool looking mask. It all turned out. The sculpture's great. I didn't use a water-based clay, so I've been spending the last 10 days still digging clay out of the mold, and I'm going to lose parts of the texture because of this clay.
What type of clay did you use?
It's called monster clay.
Don't you usually have really good luck with that?
I do, but I usually also make my molds out of silicone. So there's the difference. Now, you can make molds with this in plaster, and it's fine. If it's a small enough amount, you can heat it up, peel it out, and it's all great. But I had this big chunk and chin on the Cyclops sculpt from where the mouth is open. So there's this huge undercut. And it took me a long while to get almost all the clay dug out. And I'm still working on cleaning that out. And I'm going to just let that project move to the side and move on to my next live stream tonight where I'll be able to actually make something. And there'll be a bit more dynamic work to what I'm doing.
So because we're definitely plugging you because why not?
Yeah.
Name of your channel.
Oh, it's at Sam Sculpts on Twitch. You can also find at Sam Sculpts on Instagram and Twitter. Somehow I managed to catch that name, and it's just everywhere now. So great.
Sam Sculpts, there you go.
Oh, Sam_Sculpts.
Aha.
Sorry, there's an underscore.
Don't forget the underscore. Just like there's a hyphen in time of your half hyphen life.
Yep.
So yeah, speaking of sort of tangent here because that's what I do. I was giving my email to somebody and they're like, "What's your email?" I'm like, radioactiveshack@timeofyourhalflife.com, and they're like, "What?" Because it fits. That's our logo. That's we like it. But you have to have the hyphen, and that really threw them off too.
Oh no.
Yeah. But that's okay. We're done, and that's over with. And now they actually have my email. They can see it there and not have to worry about ever typing it because they'll just add it to contacts and it's done. Psh, move on.
Yay.
Yeah. So, what sort of project do you think you're going to work on tonight?
I have a wizard I've been sculpting out for a bit where...
Oh, is that the one that got chewed on?
Yes. Some pet chewed on the hat for the wizard.
Wasn't me.
No. You're not a pet.
No.
Thankfully. Food bill would be terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it would.
Because I'd have to keep hot chickens and extra hot sauce around.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh,
Yes.
it'd be so good. So, but what they are also is they're dice tumblers. If you're a nerd and you like to play tabletop games and roll your dice and look fancy doing it, I made a baby dragon a few years ago for my wife, which we then sculpted out and turned into a mold and have made dozens of them by now. And so I'm going to do the same thing with this wizard. And like I said, I'll have it up on the stream tonight. I'll have a nice little spot set up. be able to actually sculpt again on the stream and not have this huge layout that I would take up most of my workshop to keep cameras in place so you could see the huge mask as it's being worked
I
on.
have a request.
Okay.
I want you to make a dice tumbler, Cerberus,
Oh, that'd be cool.
but his butt's up in the air, and
Mhm.
all three heads are down, and his mouths are open, so,
So
the
it goes
dice
in the
comes
butt.
out and comes out the mouth.
Okay.
and kind of randomly pops out in a different one.
Ooh, that'd be neat. I don't know
Yeah.
how I could set that up to do the random though.
Well, you're just gonna have three different holes for the mouth.
Oh,
That's
fair.
it. And as long as they're smooth on the inside, they should just flow right out.
Yeah, fair.
I want one.
Okay.
Sweet.
There's also one where I want to make where it's a goblin where it goes in the mouth and it shoots out a giant hole in the back of his pants.
His butt.
Yeah.
Oh, that works for me. Speaking of, I was watching a guy who made a nutcracker that could crack a stainless steel nut. Well, he 3D printed the legs. And since he's using 22, well, he said 50 caliber, but they look like 22 rounds for those the nail guns.
Oh, Lord.
So, boom! Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So he had 4 of them, but he realized that he was having problems because there was no vent. So he put the vent in the 3D legs he printed.
Oh no.
Yeah, he gave it an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
It was just pretty funny because then he goes to it, watches it fire. You see it come out, and he puts a little sound effect. It's like, okay, that's funny.
Yep.
I'd give you credit, but I can't remember what the name of the show was.
Our minds are like steel traps.
Rusted open. His spring is missing.
Yeah. Parts are gone.
Yeah. One jaw's probably that side of the room. This one's on that one. I don't know.
Yep.
Yep.
So otherwise, though, I think if I'm not working on the Wizard Tonight, I have a project I've been working on for my wife for the last like 4 or 5 years. So I can work on that and start finishing that up on stream.
What's that one?
It's a monstrous demon child crawling out of a hellscape in the wall.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to pick out a nice big heavy frame for it and gather my foam to cut to make the rocky outcroppings and.
Nice.
Took that baby doll that I got from you last year and I cut it up into sections, refilled it with foam, reattached it and placed it, put some body filler in it, and now I have to put in the put on the body filler again in a thinner layer and then sand that down so it's all put back together and made normal, and then start
made normal.
looks like it's supposed to all be that way, I should
Okay,
say.
that's better.
And yeah, then I'm gonna start taking a Dremel and carving like weird cracks and designs and outlines in it to fill with like
Okay.
dark matter, like blood or just black
Yeah,
charred.
just fill it with dark matter. That'd be great.
Even better. Oh
Okay,
wow, this
I'll
baby
see
doll
that one.
looks so cool. Why can't I pick it up? Oh, it's 8 metric tons.
It's the size of a thimble.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, Ford, where are you? Oh, it's probably-
Ford, I know. Yeah, we know you're there, Ford. We know you're there.
Hopefully.
You're always there.
But if you are watching anybody, please feel free to contact us in the chats. If you're on Twitch, if you're on YouTube, sorry, we've probably been ignoring that. We'll turn on our phone and see if
Yeah.
anybody's going that way.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Off screen. Look at me. Yep.
So
can't tell.
I just want to make a quick shout out.
Nope. No
to
viewers.
some friends of mine. Recently, as in today, December 13th, a friend of mine, Arturo Rodriguez, had passed away due to COVID. So I'm going to miss you, man. You were a pretty good inspiration, wonderful artist, metalsmith, mentor. Yeah, you will be missed. All right, moving right along. Footloose and Fancy Free. So what does YouTube say? You said no.
Yeah, no viewers on YouTube
Yeah.
right now. And it looks like we are sitting at a big whopping us.
Us. Yeah, we're watching. Okay, we have 1 viewer. Us. So 2 viewers? 1 viewer. Something
2
like that.
technically, because
Yep.
it's us here and then down here for me. Look
I-
at me, I'm working for 2.
I do want to bring up some projects that are coming up. Journey to a New World by Doral Miller was supposed to come out in October. Things came up that they were trying to prioritize getting some Paragenic Season 2 out and finished, which then I'd put on the back burner to get some stuff done, and then my life got lifey, and now I'm going to hopefully have that done and out on New Year's for Doral and all that other stuff. It just depends on how quickly I can get the stuff for the person who's animating one of the CG things, because I got the stuff in, but I do not have the capabilities of animating that CG yet, because I don't know how. Oh, why don't you go online and learn how to do it? I'm still doing that with other things too.
Same.
So for those of you who try to say the internet doesn't have anything or the internet's corrupt, no, there's still some good stuff out there. You have to weed through it, but we've got this, I can't say infinite, but close to infinite amount of information filled with like 90% crap. It's really not that hard to find really good tutorials on anything you want to do.
Just find a very well validated YouTube channel, like that you're not
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
led astray.
Mhm.
just as long as you know that it's the channel you need and are looking for.
And don't limit yourself to one either, because there's so many different ways to do things. You'll always find somebody who has a different way to do it, or has a shortcut, or knows something better, or shows you that they're wrong and that's why the other channel is better, and vice versa. I will admit there's a lot of people out there with some really good YouTube channels on, say, video editing, but their personality is so annoying. How can I do this? You know Alex Steele? He's a blacksmith, right? I love watching his work, but I hate how excited he is because look what's going on. It's the best thing in the world. No, it's not, Alex. Pull it back a little bit. I'm glad you're excited. Thank you for being excited.
Well, I mean, there's a few YouTubers where I've watched them, and they're definitely going for a certain demographic. You know, like maybe he's just trying to inspire a younger crowd.
Oh, he was young to begin with to do this, and he still is young.
Oh, yeah.
And he's great, but he's just one example. There's another guy called Casey Ferris. Hi! I bet you don't know what I'm doing today. Shut up. Just get to the point. Stop dragging it out. You don't have to like sit there and go, well, that's what I'm going to do, won't I? God, we could do a whole show impersonating really bad YouTubers.
It's not hard. Impersonating?
How long would we
How about being
how
really
long-
bad YouTubers?
Right,
Is that better?
That's why I stared at you.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what actually implies a really bad YouTuber?
I think just a genuine feel of dishonesty from them. Probably not disingenuousness is probably the better way to put it. Not dishonesty. I mean, you can be a very honest person, but still come across as being disingenuous during what you're doing. Because again, like I've said, there's a few streamers and people I'll watch where I do like the content that they make. I like what they're doing in the video. But then the attitude and everything that goes with it, you can tell it's just there to put on the show.
Right.
And I understand you've got a show you're putting on. You've catered this to a certain way. But once in a while, maybe just be your absolute self. That's what I prefer to find in my YouTubers. You know, sure, maybe the person
YouTubers and Twitch.
and
both,
Twitch,
yeah.
absolutely. Anybody that's doing live streaming or anything like that.
Don't do TikTok yet, though.
I'm not. I've got too much else to do. I could do it. I'm busy. I'm tired. My brain's full, and it's all leaking out. Every time I learn something new, there goes another thing I needed to know.
Right. Gotta make room.
Yep. But again, like I said, there's a very when you're trying to be a talk show host and someone who's doing something at the same time, unless you're just being super casual and just being, that's what I want. I want people who are just being themselves on the show
Oh,
in
absolutely.
every way, shape, and form.
So I got to distract for a moment. As you can all see, we have a nice blue background on a blue sea.
Dude.
I got to play with the chroma key stuff on this sometime and see if we can get rid of it.
Oh, we can do it right now. We can still do the show where you hit there and do the thing. It's not hard.
Yeah, but they're not going to look at stuff.
Nah. Nah, you're fine. Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe we'll play with it tonight. Maybe we won't. But the problem is I really don't have any images to throw back there because, I can't go, hi, we're in Delaware.
Fair, right.
So,
Or, I mean, we're on this nice big, bucket seat style. It could always just be like an old coupe inside. You got the
we can
scene behind us.
We
One
can
of us
pretend
is
we're Tokyo
driving.
Drift. Oh, wait. Okay.
One way
We're
or the
so
other.
discoordinated.
Yeah, of course. We're not good at improv.
Oh, yeah, we're great at improv. That's why we faked it.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, yeah, I don't know what else is. Seems like the town's here in our small world in Indiana is kind of starting to wear down for the season. As we get through a lot of our stuff. Here's what I like. They put up all this Christmas decorations, and I love the decorations going on around town. Like, you've got holly jolly holidays happening all over the square and all over Spencer, and that's awesome. But it's cold out now, and no one wants to go out and see everything because Spencer
it was
is a
54
fall town.
degrees today.
Yeah.
It's not cold.
No, today wasn't cold, but it's been hitting those 20-degree days already, and a couple real nasty cold nights here and there.
I'm fine with that.
I know, and I should be too, but most people, I think Spencer's always been kind of a fall town because that's when the majority of all of our activities and festivities really happen.
That's true. I mean, because there's nothing to look forward to in Spencer until maybe June.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't take that as there's
There's
plays
just no
coming
big,
up.
there's
a
just no
few
big
things coming up.
town activities
Yeah.
until then. Which, who do I talk to about trying to set up a haunted house in Spencer? Because as far as fall activity goes, I think a haunted house is that's the peak.
Well, they tried to do a haunted path, as you know this past year, but that came down to insurance,
Mhm.
and nobody was going to insure a haunted path that was 50 feet from a river.
Right.
Yeah, so that's understandable.
Mhm.
I can get in touch with those people. It probably would be my path would lead us in the right direction. Then we'd probably have to talk to the city or the county council.
Maybe the fair board, because there's always a couple big buildings down there.
Yeah.
Because if it was something, because listen, I have a lot of time when I'm in my workshop, and if I'm going to be streaming making stuff, I'm going to be making a whole bunch of things that could work great in a haunted house. I
There's,
can make bodies, I can make skeletons, I can make monsters and backdrops and
there are a couple of buildings downtown that are still empty.
good,
We could probably talk to somebody about using one of those.
because that'd be even better.
Yeah.
Haunted house right on
Right
the square.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm
Because-
not talking about Spencer Coffee House.
No,
because that
no,
thing,
no, no.
that's a ready turnkey go business. All you have to do is have the money.
Yeah,
to
no,
start.
I know the buildings you're talking
Yeah.
about. There's a couple of them on the south side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those would be fantastic because they're a lot deeper than people think.
Yeah.
And
Oh no, they're huge buildings. They're
Yeah.
almost a block long.
Yeah.
They're at least half a
The
block.
other thing we could do is, if they're willing to, is talk to the people who have the old Chambers building, because that's multiple stories and
Mhm.
make it even more interesting, and already looks nice and old because it was an old bank.
Oh yeah, on the
Yeah.
corner.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't that where the Phoenix Bar and Grill tried to go for a bit after the first Chambers burned down?
oh, I don't know.
Okay.
Phoenix, I know, was kind of where Jittai is.
Oh yeah, that was down the street.
Yeah. So,
Can't remember. Yeah.
but those are just some options. There's other things. There's other places too. Hell, I wish we could talk to the people who own the Beam Mansion, since that thing is basically going to be a place as a tourist trap. Why can't we have that turned into a haunted house? It already looks like the Addams Family house. Beam Mansion, Spencer, Indiana. Take a
Well,
look
and
at it.
it's also from what I've heard, I don't know this for certain, that it's also filled with a lot of Civil War memorabilia, because that
I didn't
was
see it when I was in there, and I was
okay.
I went. The only thing I didn't go to is the basement.
I think the basement's where it's at,
Yeah.
because
The attic is awesome, by the way.
I can imagine. So apparently, when they used to do home tours in Owen County, this was a decade ago or longer. I know my folks went on that tour, and the gentleman who owned it opened the door wearing one of the Union Civil War outfits that were found in the basement. Because apparently that place was part of the Underground Railroad in a big way, and was also a hospital.
Well, they
So
do
there
have
are,
tours.
and so there
Yeah.
were, at the time, there were Civil War uniforms from both sides. There were artifacts from people who had lived at that time, making their way from the South to go north into Canada.
I do have sort of a contact, or had a indirect contact. I can look into that, see if we can get a tour of it. Because wouldn't that be great to put on the show?
Oh yeah, have tours of haunted
Beam
locations.
Mansion.
Hey, and remember, our local Canyon Inn is also, from all of the rumors around town, supposed to be incredibly haunted. So, I kind of think for next year for Halloween, we should take this little show on the road and do some spooky location tours.
Why wait?
Oh, that's fair too.
So now what I'm going to say it is, I've actually wanted to do a cemetery tour of the surrounding areas. We'll just say Indiana. Why don't we just start with a Owen County spooktacular thing, and maybe once a month visit a cemetery, visit a haunted place, something. Do our own ghost confirmers sort of show, but
Yeah,
a
kinda.
little more serious. Like, hey, this is supposedly what's here, and give that some history, the background. And if it's not haunted, it's just be simply something as simple as, well, here we have the cemetery here. There's 15 people buried here from blah, 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 maybe more. Like, okay, bit of triviata. There is a single grave, unmarked, somewhere around the, it's on 46. The little girl that's buried there was buried 125 years ago.
Wow.
Or more. And it's somewhere about where the weird religious compound is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it was just basically a family plot. She was laid there, and just happens to be now that there's a road near her, but it's unmarked. But if you can find all the known burial plots throughout the county, it's on the map.
Okay, neat.
Yeah. I need to find that map again, because there is at least in Indiana, there is a map that shows you where every known burial plot is, both private and, what would you say, industrial for large cemeteries.
I guess. Professional.
Professional.
There we are. But,
So,
no, I think Well, see, this is what we should be doing for next. We're going to take this show now to plan out what things are coming in 2022.
Yeah.
So be prepared. It's going to get weird. It's not an
Talk
eerie.
shows aren't going away. We've got plenty of people. There's a lot in this surrounding area that I'm covering. I've talked to people from Carmel. I've talked to people from Indy. I've talked to people from Bloomington. I've had people, from all over the place. Yes, we concentrate on the local county, but there's more.
Mhm.
And we're always going to be bringing more, especially when it has to do with film and stuff like that, because, hey, that's what I do. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, we can have a lot of fun with that.
But that coming up, we will have our ghost tours. We'll come up with a name. Should just spin off Ghost Confirmer on that.
I think so.
Yeah, because I've already got the wonderful music.
Ghost lookers.
Ghost lookers. Well, see, that's just it. I actually have the Ghost Confirmer song. For the you watched Ghost Confirmer.
Yeah.
So we might reuse that. I don't know. I like recycling. Yeah, that's it. Or it wasn't that hard to get a hold of another. We've got plenty of musicians who can help us come up with another theme song as well as a new name. If you'd like to, we can put the poll on this and you can tell us what you'd like those shows to be called. So expect more from Sam Sculpting. Expect more interviews. Expect our spooky sort of ghost thingy show where we'll go around exploring cemeteries, known haunted locations, and others. What else do we want to do for 2022?
Man, we have so much we could do.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do demonstrations on here for how to do blue screen effects, green screen, chroma keying.
Yeah.
We could do.
We definitely use the better camera because this thing is so grainy.
I mean, I do have one mean green little fellow we could talk to in an interview.
Oh yeah, I'd
Just
love to
means
bring
I'd
him
be
on.
way down here off camera.
No, you'd be like this. See how my hands aren't like so.
Oh
You'd
man.
just be the opposite way, so you'd have your puppet here, and you'd just be off screen, or you'd be on screen and just have it.
But
so your
remember,
hands
the way
are
my
below it.
puppet's built, I have to be way down below in order to do everything.
Well, you're gonna have to redesign things so you can do it side to side.
I don't wanna. I already made him. It's done. That project's done. It's dead to me. I'm moving on. He's just sitting in my easy chair in the basement right now.
So he's got the life.
He does.
Yes. Other shows that'll come up will be more spontaneous as well. Like anytime we're working on a film production or that, we might do some behind the scenes stuff. Those will be shorter, 10, 15-minute sets, maybe longer, depending on what's going on that day for production. Let's see. Windy City Nights 2 that I helped edit, they're going to start filming that in, I want to say,
eventually.
I want to say April. I'm not 100% sure of that. I may or may not be involved in that, but I've definitely offered my help again, so we probably have some updates on that. Any project from Royalty Virtues will probably be on here. Any of your projects, any of my projects for filming. It's a little bit of OCCT stuff, mostly because I'm involved in it, and there's a film coming up. Would you like to know what it is? Good.
Yeah.
We're going to basically do Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We're going to bring it into the modern day, and I'm going to change some stuff, so get over it. I don't care. It's mine. I'm having to write the script myself. Well, I'm not having to. I want to. There's a difference, because it's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I have an idea. I just need to flesh it out. Might even do some readings and interview with the people who get on the cast.
Cool.
There's things like that. Yes, we do have a couple more shows before the year ends, but this is really seeming like it's a year-end show. Like, let's
Kind
wrap
of
it
is.
all up. It's like, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way it seems to be going. Because, again, with the holidays, just genuinely, we're 11 days out now from Christmas.
Something
13th.
like that.
Yeah. So we are.
Yeah.
We're right there. Everybody's busy. Everybody's got a million things to do. Families all over the place. So again, during the holidays,
Didn't Hanukkah just end, or is it still going?
I think it's still going. I'm not good
Yeah.
on most holidays
Yeah.
anymore.
I don't know when Ramadan was this year. Yule, all my friends who were getting ready to celebrate Yule down in the rest of America, including local places, enjoy that. What other holidays are coming up?
New Year's is also right around the corner.
Yeah.
That's 3 weeks out.
Yep.
Some formal, like, holiday for somebody that gets put onto a calendar. There's a million of them now.
So, yeah, everybody I know is busy.
Yeah.
Everybody.
No, it's kind of amazing that we both had the energy to still show up and do this one today.
Right. It's definitely been a day. It's been a week. Matter of fact, 22 rounds. I have to pass on that. I was going to be the editor. I don't have the time to do that. Which is sad because it's going to be this great story about basically I want to say urban sort of police gangster fights sort of thing. I'm leaving it very vague because that's what it is. But it's definitely more of a crime story sort of story. Story sort of story.
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 Sort of story.
Something like that.
Story, sort of story.
So yeah, but keeping a lookout for that. We'll definitely bring some of the people who are on that. That'll probably be more of a Skype interview as well. Speaking of Skype interviews, I do have some people that are generally scheduled for January for an interview. And what it is, her name is Raven Riverdale. She's basically trying to make a movie based on the Tulsa Massacre.
Oh wow!
She's also got a few other involved. One that has to do, which is basically a inside story or dramatized look at what it would be like to be in a active shooter in a school.
Oh
Yeah,
wow!
yeah, like kids cowering and that sort of point of view. Supposedly the script is written, and I'm really interested. We'll be talking about that with her and a few other people sometime in January. I'm being vague on that because that won't be live. I'll have to record it and broadcast it.
Okay.
Yep. Looking forward to it. Yeah.
Ooh. Boy, that's gonna be a weird interview. I'm gonna tell you, I already got mixed feelings on that one. Sorry, as an American, this happens a lot, and I don't know how much we need to.
Well, the problem is it happens a lot, and it's becoming so commonplace. Nobody's talking about it. It's just like half of them don't even make the news anymore.
No, because it's just sadly accepted.
Yeah, and this is to try to bring it back into light. Let people start having the conversation of, look at what we're putting our kids through. Look at what's happening. It could be anything from if you're in college, if you're in elementary school, if you're in the mall, if you're in the library. Okay, we're good. But it's to give it humanize the people who are the victims a little more rather than just have them be statistics. This is kind of important, I think, and would make a good story, especially after what is it? The Idiot Wars got in trouble finally for his view and take on calling Sandy Hook a conspiracy.
Oh, Papa, big dumb Uncle Alex Jones.
The gay frog.
Yeah, they're turning the frogs gay.
No, he's a gay frog. He's a gay frog in a man suit.
I'd like him more if he really was.
True.
No, yeah, I have a whole. I could go off on a tangent about how stupid this person is, and also the sad history of how he got to where he's at, because he kind of got trapped in that spot, and then he couldn't get out, so he just dug in and whole owned it, all the way to bankruptcy and his family leaving.
I want to.
It's made me so happy. It made me so unnecessarily happy.
So I'm inspired by something because I've gone on a tangent. Every time we say tangent, we need a little marker. We change it, not on the computer, like a physical one.
Oh yeah. We need an actual whiteboard next to us.
Whiteboard or something, or just a little wheel in the counter.
Yeah.
Oh, because I just realized how often we say that, but it is in the title.
Oh. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's been a wild year, and it's been a busy last couple of weeks. It's been a wild 2 years, because with everything that's happened and everything that's kind of bad in the world, I have to say things kind of got a little better on my end of the world. I actually had time where it's like, oh, everybody's trapped and can't bother me. Neat. I can get stuff done.
I've found ways to survive and that don't require me sacrificing my life to a corporate entity that wants me to sit there and make things while they whip my back and say, we're paying you too much. Yeah. So that's nice. I got out of that.
That's good.
Hopefully I can remain there.
Right. I don't think I'm going anywhere at my job. I don't think they'll let me at this point.
No.
Yeah.
No, you become. Yeah. You've got a good job though too.
Yeah, the free beer at the end of every shift really helps make it an excellent job on top of it.
Speaking of, what beer? Do they have any interesting beers? Any good? They haven't had any stouts or porters lately.
No, we haven't lately. Now we're waiting on our What Lurks IPA to finally empty out.
I'm so tired of IPAs.
The keg is nearly done on that.
Why are people so impressed with IPAs? They're not that good.
It's
and
trendy.
That's more than just a personal opinion.
I feel like it's
hops everything. Hops
No, that's why there's a couple breweries in Bloomington that run into issues once in a while too, is because they make a lot of good beer, and it is delicious. I had a lot of it over the summer. But and again, it's just some of them is just the gimmick. Is just it's just everywhere. It's just personal taste. But we kind of keep a little bit extra on there. But I know we just put 2 more on there. We have our double, which is again, it's a little bit stronger. I'm not for sure if that's a IPA or not. I've not had more than like a little taster of it.
For those of you who want to know, we're talking about Civilians Brewing Corps in Spencer, Indiana. A nice little microbrew food place.
Restaurant, pub
That's
is what we
really
prefer to
taken
call
off.
it.
They've been doing really well. It's one of those, I wish, any of my ideas took off as well as that did, because this place is fantastic. Don't forget to order the hot chicken Simonized, because you got to have it Simon level hot.
And we don't actually put it on the menu as Simon level hot. We don't offer it as Simon level hot. We just have
they do.
one person that can order it that way.
It's going to be on the menu. I know it. I'm going to force this. You just watch.
It's going to be like the Starbucks hidden menu. That's bad. That's where I'm putting it. Where I'm going to start building our private select menu for people who know.
People who know how to say, I want it Simonized or Simon level. Sweet.
Just be careful, because it almost sounded like you said you wanted it sodomized, and I was
Sodomized hot chicken.
Okay, now we're there. Simonized.
Should we just, instead of saying I want it tangent level hot.
Oh.
Okay, tangent level hot.
A tangent chicken.
Tangent chicken.
I'm
so hungry.
Don't worry. For the next time you come in, I have something special all ready to put on it.
Oh, what?
Oh, it's habanero sauce. Actually, it's a habanero spread. I'm uncomfortable holding the jar.
Can we go right now?
No. Damn. I'm not opening up the restaurant for one sandwich.
Not really opening it as much as just going in and keeping it closed.
Yeah, no. Having to explain to everybody later on, like, hey, why are you on the camera on a Monday, going in at 8 o'clock at night to cook hot chickens for you and John Simon? Well, you discovered it. Can't do that one.
So,
sorry.
Ben, I'm going to ask you again. Please look into possibly, since we promote you a lot, maybe backing this show a little bit. That'd be great. Look at all the projects we want to do. Speaking of, I did talk to him briefly and said we all 3 need to get together, because we have another movie project we haven't talked about, and it's about Bigfoot.
Large feet.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of large feet.
Yeah. So
screaming.
And he's into big feet, if you know what I mean. Yeah, he's trying to get him to see if he'll help us out with big feet.
I mean, he probably will be down for it. We just feel like we need to have everything hammered out on that and have the budget and the cost and have everything itemized so he knows exactly.
I think right now, I told him what I want his help on, and I think I could probably walk up to him now and say, this is how much we need to build this.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to give him a monetary amount, because you can wait.
And I've also been instructed by the owner, my boss. There's a certain Halloween costume he wants made this coming year, and I'm not going to say exactly what it is. Just it's going to be a stilt costume. No, that's my wife's. Actually, no, that's supposed to be God Emperor.
Right.
No, it's going to be a stilt costume. So he's going to have some stilts on his feet and crutches on his arms. But I have one person.
So he's going to be a Strider from Dark Crystal?
Oh, that would have been cool. That would have been so fun. No, what he's got in mind is pretty cool. And as I work on the stream, then we'll get a better look and view of what it's going to be.
Talk to Gavin about quad suits. Good experience there.
So, yeah, I was actually about to ask you if you or Gavin had lots of experience in it. So good to know.
Gavin, that'd be the one to talk to. Yep.
Perfect.
So Ben, shout out to you and Civilian. I'm going to move on to another thing I discovered. And I wasn't the discoverer, but somebody had introduced me to a beer called Untitled Artist Double Blueberry. Oh my God, this was good.
Where do you get it at?
Well, Untitled Artist. But there's a place called the Orbit in Bloomington, and they're kind of running low. So I need to run down there and grab a couple cans. They had it on tap. That's how I tasted it. Because some of the things I do is I kind of go around. Well, that doesn't matter. And I tried this and was like, this is awesome. But since I was on working, I couldn't actually try it. I could only taste it. Mm-hmm. And it also came in cans. So I bought a can, took that home, chilled it. Oh, yeah.
Is this Switchyard?
No. The Orbit.
Oh, the Orbit. Oh,
Orbit,
okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
And, well, there's so much blueberry in this thing when my mug was empty, you could see the solids still clinging on the side.
Nice and purple and
Beautiful purple.
Mm.
Oh. So, Jeremiah, I think I found a beer you'd actually like, because you don't like beers, because it doesn't taste like a beer.
That's awesome. Victoria would like it then
It
too.
is so blueberry.
'Cause she hates beer too.
Okay, then I think we should need at least the four of us need to run down there, or one of us needs to run down and buy four.
I was about to say, do you need a 20? I can get it for you real quick. Just like,
It's like $10 a can.
well, it covers me and Victoria at least.
Yeah. We still need tax.
I forgot.
Hmm.
We got a fake bill yesterday, and somebody's tips at work.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
And they asked me if I wanted to keep it, and I said yes. And I took it out of my wallet and left it at home. And I should have brought it just to show you. I'm sorry. I just
What
didn't want to
denomination was it?
It's a $1 bill, and it says on the top, motion picture money for theater and commercial television use only. In Hollywood we trust. And you turn around on the back, and it straight up just says prop movie money. It was like, okay, it doesn't even, it feels
So
kind of
it wasn't-
close
it wasn't
to a real bill, but it's not a real bill at all.
So the person just wasn't paying attention. I don't think they were trying to pass it off as real money.
No, these have been passed out apparently randomly over a period of 3 years. There's a
Really?
few places around town that have gotten them randomly. No one remembers who brings them in. They just show up, and it's movie money, so it's worthless.
Well,
Thank you.
There's been a couple $100 bills passing around that have these Chinese marks on them. Really bright red. How can you miss this? This is fake money. It even says it's fake money. But somebody tried to pass one off at the local grocery store and a few other places where they announced it. On top of that, there's been some legitimate $100, and what I mean by legitimate is actually intended to be fake, not a movie
So
prop.
total real counterfeit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So one of the guys who passed that was chased down from the grocery store to a local house. He jumped in the backyard, and you know those things that people have been putting on their houses lately?
Solar panels,
No,
stills,
no,
Trump flags.
no.
Oh.
Cameras.
Oh.
He thought he was hiding.
duh.
So there he is,
Oh.
hiding, and you got this good view of this guy. But, you know, his back, because he doesn't know the camera's right on him.
That's amazing.
But they busted him anyway. They actually brought him out of that place, and I have no idea what happened there because I didn't follow it up. You can, if you want, go to in.gov my case or something like that.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I never have. I'm not in trouble, so I never have a reason to look this stuff up.
Neither am I. I'm not one of those people who sits there like, I just found out Sam Sturgeon got pulled over by the cops because I'm listening to on my scanner. No, I've got friends who do that.
I know.
Well,
I have a couple of people I know too, where their favorite pastime and hobby is they go on the mycase.gov and they look to see who in the county has like upcoming court dates and who was arrested for what.
Yeah.
And to those people, if you ever watch this, I just want to ask you one thing. Have you never heard of like a hobby? Like
Apparently
something
they have,
constructive?
and that's it.
Like put together a puzzle, learn to make a
but
birdhouse.
But I want to have some dirt on my neighbors.
Well, that's fine. I know for a fact that a couple of these people are fairly should probably wind up on a MyCase site as well once in a while.
That's probably how they discovered it.
Probably.
Oh, what's this letter? It's all on my case. Go to my case. Ooh, I can see what everybody's done.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, my case. We're not doing too good today in the stream. We've got 1.4% dropped frames.
Yeah. Whoa. Awful.
I know,
How
right?
terrible. 1.4. A whole
1.4. Yeah.
boy.
To give you some context, where we were originally filming this at and broadcasting from, we were normally getting anywhere from 45 to 60% frame drops.
Yeah, so you're only catching really like 40% of the video.
Yeah, for those of you who are only listening to the audio version of this, well, it didn't affect the audio, so you were fine. And for those of you who are just listening to the audio version of this, enjoy, keep your both hands on the wheel, or just get some work done because we tend to drone on about whatever we want.
Yeah, here and there.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yep. And at the same time, if you have an idea for a show, would like to be on the show, because we'll interview almost anyone.
Just about.
RadioactiveShack at timeofyourhalflife.com. There should be a email at the bottom of the screen here. You should also get that information at this wonderful, why can't I do it right, thing here called a QR code. Use your phone, take a picture of it, and it'll go, oh, it has these links. And yeah.
And if anybody out there was wondering what the big black thing in the center is, this is our microphone.
That's right. So I'm going to go ahead and plug. It's a Zoom H5. I love this thing. It's great. It's some capabilities I wish it had that it doesn't. But I usually get really good audio out of it. It's what I use for my films and movies. So,
Yay!
um,
I think we're about out of material already.
oh
We're
no, I
only.
can keep going. Honestly, there's so many other subjects.
Is there?
But technically, we've got only 12 minutes left of the show.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, we are having to limit this show to an hour because, well, people at the library want to go home on time. So we need time to clean up, so we shut off at 7:30. Thanks again to the Owen County Public Library for providing everything here.
Including the music.
So for those people who don't think the library is useful, fuck you. Come on down to your local library. I don't care where you're at. You can rent movies. You don't rent. You check out movies. Guess what? They're free.
You can come into the same room we're at right now
That's
and
right.
make movies because they have this awesome whole setup in here.
Owen County Public Library has the full suite of Adobe things, and I don't like Adobe, so that's the most you're going to get out of me for it. But it's available to the public. You'll just have to sign out a time to see when you can be here in their wonderful multimedia studio.
I do like the Adobe products. They are really good. I can't follow along because the terminology. That's my
It's not
only.
even the terminology. It's you want to keep using this? It's X amount of dollars a month. Unless you're a student. You're not a student? Now it's still that. And no.
Yeah, it beats when it used to be. You had to update every year, but it was going to be like $1,200 for a copy.
Yeah, now it's $50 depending. It starts at $50 a month. Unless, of course, you're a permanent student, which, yeah.
Well, unless you're only also just using Photoshop, then it's $35 a month.
Yeah, but it's like, no, I don't want to be constantly paying. I'll tell you, my editing software was free. But if I wanted to upgrade to get the HD and the HDR and the 3D capabilities, I could buy it for a single price and have
Forever.
it for the rest of my life, all free upgrades.
With regular I was about to say with free upgrades and
Speaking
every
of that,
updates.
that's exactly what I wanted to talk about today. So I read that Toyota, of all places, Toyota, it's a car, right? They
Yeah.
make cars, they actually want you to start buying subscriptions so you can use their keys.
In the car.
Well, currently it's so you can do remote start and other things. Like, no,
You can just go buy a remote starter.
right.
So
But
then
a
you're
subscription of like $30 a month for as long as you own the car that allows you to do these extra steps, extra features.
like
no.
what? Have the AC work in the summer? What is the
That's what I'm worried they're going to get to. Oh, you actually want the fuel pump to work? Or if it's electric, you actually want the solenoid to switch over? So it'll now...
I don't know if it'd go to that, but
Well-
I definitely think it would turn into more of a well, you have to remember that air conditioning and radio is a luxury.
And it's ours, not yours, even though you bought it. And that's the problem. That's what we're getting to. Everything is getting to the point where they have to nitpick. Well, how are they going to make money? They're making money fine to begin with. They got to this point. Oh, but they need to make more money.
And don't forget, the whole right to repair thing isn't supposed to really be a thing. You're not supposed to be able to work on your vehicles, folks, or your computers.
Yeah.
You're supposed to use them till they start to get kind of wonky and then just stop working altogether and then go buy a new one.
Preferably, yeah.
This is why I like being a nerd. I'll
Mechanic-
just build it myself.
Mechanics aren't mechanics anymore. They're parts replacers. A mechanic was somebody who used to take it in and say, oh, my alternator's down. Well, let me rewind it for you. Let me fix it. Let me change the bushings. No, now it's, oh, okay, well, let me take it out and put in a new one.
And it costs just as much as it used as having to have
More.
that done now. Yeah, more.
Yeah.
Because then the manufacturers just crank up the price on the part.
Yeah.
So you're still having to pay the guy his like $30 an hour for his labor, which is understandable. Just to go in and do something you could have done because if this person's never seen this car before, they're just going to look it up on a YouTube channel anyway. And you could have done that too.
And I don't like the way a lot of these places are literally just breaking it down to how can they charge you for everything. Here's the base price. I'll give you I was thinking about this earlier. It started out with this way. Here's a game. It works. Put in the disc, load it, and play. Or it was here's the cartridge. Put it in your player. Turn it on. It doesn't work. Turn it off. Blow on it. Put it on. Turn it out. Don't do that because it really doesn't work. Irrelevant. But yeah, you had a functioning product.
Yeah.
And then they had deadlines, and the game's like, here's the game. Oh, it doesn't work. Wait for us to send you a patch. Now it's here's the game. Oh,
But
you want that
cool
patch?
content?
You want that patch? You have to buy the downloadable content. Oh, you want the really neat stuff? Like Destiny is probably one of the worst ones.
Oh, yeah.
Season pass is what, $20, $30 for 4 months of play? Or no, 3 months of play. Oh, you want that special gun that gives you the edge over everybody else? That's $60 to $70. Oh, you want that pistol? That's $20. Oh, well, why don't you just buy the full year season pass for $120? Well, the game is free.
Sort of.
No, it's not free.
No.
And
These games are never free.
So not only are video games, cars are doing it now. You have other software subscriptions that are
Well, and video games, going down that road, I remember when that first started, like Oblivion came out and everybody lost their minds because they were going to have the first extra downloadable content, and it was armor your horse could wear and like 2 other things. And I really was kind of like, that's a little weird. I already bought the game. Why do I got to pay more money for this stuff I didn't think was ever coming anyway? The next time that happened was Fable 2, where they had made it so that you could go in and you could buy certain items and weapons and things like that and actually pay real money for them. And I was like, I don't like where this is going. And then people stopped finishing video games because there was no point in finishing a game. I can give you 25% of what the game was supposed to be up front.
No Man's Sky. It's a great game, great concept.
Now. It took them 5 years to make up for the push that the company originally put them through.
Cyberpunk 2077, same thing. Oh, well, we had a date we had to get out by, so you have a functioning, heavy air quotes, idea, and now you have to wait. So here, a year later, and the game's kind of played.
No, video games that are coming out now, a lot of them are being hyped up for what would have originally been considered proof of concepts, and then it's great. So now you have all of your backbone work. You're getting the bare minimum it takes to make a game, but having to pay $60 for a game that isn't made yet.
Yeah. The only thing that's worse than that are the app games you can get. So, I want to play this game.
I've stopped playing games on my phone. It's pointless. It makes me kind of like nauseous.
All they are is money pits.
Well, and it's supposed to be time wasters. But everybody also is kind of like, I'm done looking at my phone anyway. I stare at this thing way too much. Oh, hang on. I have to crush more candy for no reason.
Well, it's not even crushing candy. It's beyond that. It's like, oh, well, play the Age of Empire ripoff game where you can do this. It's not you don't have to pay to win. Oh, but if you want to get that new land, it's another $29.99.
Or how about the games that you know aren't good and they just keep pushing down your throat, like Raid Shadow Legends?
Yeah.
If I see that come up on someone's channel anymore as an advertisement from YouTube itself, or if it's just straight up they were paid to do the promotion, I turn off your video. I'm done. I don't care anymore. Like I'm so over these games that are awful, and they're just stuffed down your throat more and more.
So yeah, I had an advertise come up, and I either turn it off or don't go at it. And it's this girl with a banana going, obviously blowjob thing, and it's like, you can do anything you want with her. Download the game now. I'm like, okay, I understand there's people who want this sort of thing, but
like, why is that advertised to you specifically?
Right, yeah.
What terrible banana porn did you look up that would make this
what
not
I want to
be?
know.
Yeah.
Okay. History. Banana porn? Nope, not there. It is now. Thanks.
Yeah.
But
we mentioned it on the podcast, so it's going to hit the internet.
Yeah.
And because it's from
porn.
us, it's going to show up on my crap now too, because it's just there.
Because the mics are always on, because you had to say yes to play that game.
Oh, fuck no. I turn mine off every time. That's why I don't put games on my phone. Sorry, Google. You don't get my apps I need to listen to me can listen. Google, no.
Too late.
I know. Facebook's worse about it.
Facebook is the worst.
And now you can't uninstall it from your phones. Now it comes standard.
Not on my phone.
If I could jailbreak mine and take it off, I would in a heartbeat. Oh.
What phone do you have?
It's like I think Note something or other. Or I'm sorry, LG Stylo.
Oh, LG Stylo.
Yeah, it was what was
Motorola product placement.
No. No, mine came from the wonderful people at Straight Talk. So these phones get pre-built and preloaded with all the crap you didn't want in the first place. Because I'm cheap.
There's a OnePlus is a great phone if you want something that's kind of more Linux/open, take everything off the phone. Those are nice. I got the Motorola I did because I could take everything off I wanted. Even though Motorola is pushing to be the new
Verizon.
No, the new Samsung/Apple level. But I buy my phones outright, which is why I will not buy a phone over a certain value because I was looking at a phone the other day, just like, oh, that's neat. What is it? Looked at the price tag and said, fuck that, because it was $17.99.99.
For something that will be outdated in a month.
Right, because planned obsolescence. And on that note, planned obsolescence, it's time for us to end the show. Thank you for tuning in.
It's the only time we'll admit to our planned obsolescence.
Yes, again, if you want to be on the show, email us, radioactiveshack at timeofyourhalflife.com. Don't forget the hyphen. And no, it's not timeofyourhalflife.com. Don't forget the hyphen. It's the hyphen between.
It's just a.
Yeah. And on that note, thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
It's
follow that QR code to the website.
Yes.
If you couldn't follow that,
Mhm.
here's the name of the podcast and everything down here.
Yep.
Don't forget to find me at Sam Sculpts on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram.
later tonight.
_Sam_Sculpts.
Sam_Sculpts.
Yeah.
Check it out if you can. Thanks for tuning in, and all
Have a good
I'm
one,
gonna say,
gang. Happy holidays.
good evening.
Hello, Andy. This is Colin. I won't be able to get in tonight. I'm sweating like a pig.